Hey guys, welcome to the second part of the Dean448 vlog Airshow Special. I'm joined here by Ryan, Paul and Buzzer, and Chris. Hello. Hi.
If you can't hear us, it's just because...
I know, because somebody's speaking in the speaker, so can't actually hear us. But we're actually waiting on the arrival of the radar roars.
RAF Acrobatic.
They were here at the evening launch, which is seen in the first part of the vlog. So we're just on the way for them now. Now, they will be flying overhead like they did before.
In 2 minutes' time, on the hour of 1 o'clock. They'll be arriving in a formation called 9 Arrow. All 9 jets.
Yeah, we had on 9 last time, so
400 miles an hour.
got 9 this time as well. We had 7 last year, so
full display. If you were here last night, we had a mix of a display with a cloud just meant we had to change from a full display into
no
a
cloud
display. But today, with the cloud base as high as it is and the visibility as good as it is in this wonderful weather, we will be seeing a full display.
listen to that man commentating up there.
He has got a big voice, hasn't he?
Got some new movers this year.
Moves.
Boys and girls, I've been a Red Arrows display pilot myself, so I do know that when the pilots fly past, they will be able to see you waving. So when I tell you, I want everyone's arms in the air, waving as hard as you can, and the pilots will see you. Ladies and gentlemen, you don't get away with it either. I want to hear lots of clapping and cheering, and if it's loud enough, I'll transmit some of those claps and cheers to the pilots in their cockpits so that they can appreciate
They'll be flying from over there because
their display.
they fly overhead.
Does that sound good to everybody here at Sunderland?
You're not going to put it?
They're not going to be able to hear that if you're that quiet. So does that sound good to everybody here at Sunderland?
Yeah!
I'm sure
Maybe.
we can make it as loud as possible.
Oh god. There's too many, so...
Unfortunately, we're only displaying here today. We're not here tomorrow. We've got to fly down to Lincolnshire for another display this evening, and then back down to the south coast.
I don't see why I have to hold on to these. Your bloody jobs.
Yeah.
Now it's time to get the clapping and cheering going. Lots and lots of clapping. Cheers, please, ladies and gentlemen, as I give you the Royal Air Force Aerobatic Team for 2013.
There they are.
To form the Red Arrows' famous Diamond 9 trademark formation. The jets are slowing down to about 150 miles an hour now at the top of this loop, reaching a height of 6,000 feet. At this slow speed, the controls become less responsive, so the pilots work very hard to maintain that Diamond 9 formation. Red 1 is squadron leader Jim Turner. It's his second year leading the team, but he was a wingman with the Red Arrows from 2005 to 2007 and ended up leading the synchro pair. He's a former Jaguar weapons instructor and Jaguar display pilot. Smoke comes on as Reds 2 and 3 acknowledge the move to Eagle to show us the platform of the American fighter jet, the F-15 Eagle. We put this in a display this year to pass thanks to our American colleagues who showed us support during the Battle of Britain on the Eagle Squadron. But now from the right-hand side at 400 miles an hour, this is the Eagle Roll.
400 miles an hour.
Now, boys and girls, as the canopies come towards us, they'll see you waving out in the air. We fly the majority of our formations with the odd-numbered pilots on the left-hand side. The even-numbered pilots fly on the right-hand side. Red 6 and 7, the synchro pair, tend to fly directly behind the leader in line astern.
Did you get it?
On the bottom of the formation now is Red 4, Flight Lieutenant Martin Pert. He's in his second year with the team as the team's executive officer. He's a former Hawk flying instructor and Hawk display pilot, and operationally he flew the Harrier GR9. The smoke's back on now as the team form another shape, this time representing the iconic supersonic airliner, and they're about to come left with some red, white and blue to show the very best of British, and hopefully a big round of applause as they show you Concorde.
I saw this one yesterday.
Dean, we got a Concorde?
This year is the 70th anniversary of Operation Chastise, which was the famous Dambusters raid carried out by 617 Squadron on the night of the 16th of May 1943. Those brave aircrew flew their 19 Lancaster bombers deep into enemy territory to drop their bouncing bombs and complete their mission. 617 Squadron still fly today with the Tornado GR4, and it's just been announced that 617 Squadron will be the first unit to operate the Air Force's new Joint Strike Fighter. But now in from the left-hand side to commemorate 70 years since the Dambusters, this is Lancaster.
May have missed that one.
Oh well.
One of our pilots has
But that was a Lancaster, like, sheer formation what they did.
Mark Lawson is on the leader's left wing now, and he's in his first year with the Red Arrows. He completed his first tour of the Royal Air Force with 617 Squadron, where he flew the Tornado GR4 over Iraq and Afghanistan.
You're trying to catch the Hawk performance.
Again flying over Afghanistan.
You want to catch the
Also
Hawk
over Libya
performance?
in 2011.
Yeah.
Alright, well, you did talk about it. You think I'm doing all of
This
them?
time it's our tightest shape. The jets in this formation are around 5 to 6 feet apart. Coming in from the right-hand side, this is the Apollo roll.
Apollo roll.
Ready for Apollo now?
Yep, there's the spot there.
I know.
Emma!
Climbing up to 2,500 feet. Another big wave, boys and girls.
Lots of Emma.
On the leader's right wing now is another of our first-year pilots. That's Red 2, Flight Lieutenant Ollie Parr. Ollie is in his first year with the team, as I say. He's another former Tornado GR4 pilot and has spent a tour as a Hawk flying instructor at RAF Valley, where we train our advanced fast jet students. Smoke's back on now to form another shape, this time Typhoon, aimed to depict the Delta Wing platform of the Royal Air Force's new multi-role combat aircraft, the Eurofighter Typhoon. You're about to see it display later on, but we have 4 frontline squadrons of Typhoons, whose primary duty it is to protect the airspace of the UK and the Falkland Islands. In from the left-hand side now, at 400 miles an hour, about to pull up at 4G. This is the Typhoon Loop.
Typhoon loop. Wait for it. It'll be coming.
One of our pilots is a former Typhoon pilot. Red 9, Flight Lieutenant Mike Child, is moving to the far side of the formation as we look at it now, and he's in his second year with the team. He's another former Hawk flying instructor and Hawk display pilot. He then transferred to the Typhoon, where he flew on quick reaction alert duties in both the UK and the Falkland Islands. Accelerating now, back to 400 miles an hour. The G builds up to 4G in a shape called Signet. In the middle of the left-hand wing as we look tail on is the last of our first-year pilots. He's Red 5, Flight Lieutenant Steve Morris. Steve is another former Hawk flying instructor, and he was posted to the Harrier GR9, but only spent a short time flying the aircraft before it was taken out of service.
That's the Red Arrows for you, ladies and gentlemen. Doing more videos,
Back on now to form
but
another
with
shape. See Red 6 and 7 moved to their
We're doing more videos, but with other aircraft. So, this is the Red Arrows.
For the last roll of the first half of the display, this is the Big Vixen roll.
Here we go.
Ladies and gentlemen, that is the end of the first half of the Red Arrows display.
Well, that's Red Arrows for you, so see you later for another video of another
as we show you how the Hawk aircraft can perform.
another aircraft performance. So see you later. Bye. Oh, there it is. There
we go. In from the right to high speed, low and fast. You see what I mean about that colour scheme? And many of the purists said it was a crime to paint a classic aircraft like the Hawker Hunter in such colours. Jonathan disagrees because he said it marks the aircraft out as being unique. He says it isn't a crime, but it is maybe a misdemeanour. Hence the aircraft's name, Miss Demeanour.
You met him?
A maximum speed of 715 miles an hour. Can go up to 50,000 feet with its combat ceiling.
Colourful aircraft.
And we'll see both extremes of the speed envelope displayed by Jonathan. And during his low speed run towards the end of the display, he usually pushes the cockpit back and gives everybody a wave. The Hawker Hunter was the RAF's mainstay through the 1950s and 60s. It first flew on the 20th of July 1951, so just a week ago, and 52 years. 62 years, I should say. It was armed with 4 30mm cannon and able to carry a range of weapons on hard points underneath the wings, and performed a range of duties in the service of no less than 19 air forces around the world. Several world speed records were gained by the aircraft, including the world absolute speed record. That was on the 7th of September 1953, when a speed of 727.6 miles an hour was achieved by the famous pilot Neville Duke. Speaking of speed records, I didn't give you the answer to the Lynx speed, did I? So if you're having a little bit amongst yourselves, the answer is 240.
That was the Miss Demeanour. That was the Miss Demeanour. She's very colourful. Very colourful aircraft. Dean, there she's there.
So the Hunter initially replaced the American Sabre aircraft and went on to become a useful ground attack aircraft, replacing Vampires and Venoms, and was later used for reconnaissance and development and training roles. And when I was doing my RAF pilot training, people were going on to the NAT,
blue, red, and orange.
In the days of the NAT pilots, which is a very small aircraft, the taller guys who were too big for the NAT were put into the Hunter, which I think was no misfortune at all.
No, I can barely see because I've got
misfortune to Miss Demeanour. Almost 2,000 Hunters were built. Let's compare that with the more than 20,000 Spitfires and Seafires which were built during the Second World War. Just to emphasise Jonathan's wicked sense of humour, as epitomised by the colour scheme, by the name Miss Demeanour, and also the aircraft registration, which is Golf Papa Sierra Sierra Tango, or PST.
This is going to go fast. Oh, here it goes. just look at that screen.
Jonathan's father was a Yorkshireman who served with the Fleet Air Arm as a Royal Naval Aeronautical Engineering officer during the Second World War, and that inspired Jonathan to start his flying career when he joined the Royal Navy at the age of 17. After officer training, he was given 10 hours of flying experience in the Tiger Moth, then posted to learn on the Jet Provost Mark 3 and 4 before progressing onto the Hawker Hunter at the Royal Naval Air Station Broady in South Wales. His operational flying took place on the Sea Vixen FAW2, and he had what was described as an enthusiastic approach to combat flying, which soon led to trouble when his use of landing flap in the tight corners of air combat manoeuvres resulted in overstressing 2 sets of Sea Vixen flaps, which gained him the nickname Flaps.
Aye, I say it.
And of course, as he was in the Navy, a sailor, that nickname. At the last count, his logbook includes over 120 aircraft types.
Ladies and gentlemen, I give you the Apache helicopter.
The first maneuver will be a cloverleaf, a maneuver where the Apache turns on top of the maneuver. Make sure your cameras are ready because he will shoot some flares on top of the maneuvers. And after this maneuver, he will gain some more airspeed to set up for the next maneuver. This will be a hammer turn, and again, in this maneuver where we will pitch up, he will shoot flares right on top. So be ready. There they come.
What?
Whoa! That's coming out blurry on mine.
And the Hawk 01 needs now time to set up in a stationary hover. From that position, it will turn and flip on its side and dive towards the water again. Both the team and the helicopter are operational assets. If the helicopter isn't used for air shows, it will be used in regular training programs. And also the pilots are operational pilots and do the displays as a subtask.
Put it this way, if that was a couple of miles away, you're dead.
The Apache helicopter is not modified from all the other Apache helicopters we have. It's only painted in colors to make it looking good on all the pictures you will shoot. And be ready for the split air stern. The Hawk 01 Apache helicopter belongs to the 301 Squadron back in the Netherlands. 301 Squadron is based at Air Force Base at Vilserijen, which is in the southern part of the country. The Apache flew over the North Sea just a week ago to come here and show you this air show. Next maneuver will be a quarter code lever again. The Apache is a gunship and is mounted with 3 types of weapons. It has a gun, rockets and missiles. And did you know that the gun, which is located underneath the nose of the Apache helicopter, can be aimed by the helmet of one of the pilots? So one of the pilots only has to look to a target and pull the trigger, and rounds will be fired towards the target. The helicopter is coming back to perform a roll maneuver.
Actually on time because the 49 minutes past 2.
And after this roll maneuver, it will turn around with a split S maneuver. And thereafter, it will make a full looping without a turn in the top, and it will shoot flares again. and Chaos, both pilots in the Hawk 01 are gaining some airspeed to perform this looping maneuver. The Apache can fly almost 180 knots, so that's over 200 miles an hour. And there they come. The next maneuver is one of the most difficult maneuvers for Wally and Chaos to perform. It will climb out to a stationary hover and fly rearward. While he's doing that, he will point his nose towards the water and gain airspeed while diving towards the water. While he's diving and gaining airspeed over 200 miles an hour, he will make a right turn over 360 degrees towards the right. This is called the vertical spin. The altitude Wally is looking for is over 1,800 feet, so that's more than 600 meters. And in this short amount of dive, he will gain more than 100 knots of airspeed. Wally and Chaos are preparing for this difficult maneuver, and there they go, pointing down, gaining airspeed, and turning the aircraft more than 360 degrees. They will fly out from this maneuver and turn around with a hammerhead maneuver. Right on top of this hammerhead maneuver, they will pop some flares for you, and turning the aircraft back around, nose down towards the sea. This Apache solar display shows the capability of the Apache helicopter, which is designed to fight in combats like Iraq and Afghanistan. But this maneuver shows what the Apache helicopter is actually capable to do. Next maneuver will be a quarter clove leaf, and stand by with your cameras for the flares in 3, 2, 1, and there they are.
Hey!
If you look careful to their helicopter, you see the number 100, and that is in respect of the 100th anniversary of military aviation in the Netherlands. So this year we painted the helicopter in our national color orange with the numbers 100 on the side of the helicopter. Wally and Chaos are aiming for around 150 knots to perform the next full maneuver, as you see right now. And after this maneuver, they will dive backwards towards show center. The show is almost coming to an end. Make sure you will look and wave to them if they are setting up for the low flyby. I will give you a heads up when they are doing that. And there are Wally and Chaos diving towards the water, setting up for the low flyby. I know for sure that both pilots are waving to you, so make sure you wave back. They will turn around and set up for a large bow in appreciation of your presence today here. And I have direct communication with Wally and Chaos, and they will have a message from you live from the aircraft, so be ready to hear. That was Captain Gaas from the cockpit, thank you. From my point of view and my position on behalf of the Royal Netherlands Air Force, thanks again and have a great day here at Sunderland.
Stars, thanks very much. That was a fantastic display. I hope live drop.
Hey guys, This is the RAF Falcons drop. The plane is like up at 8,000 feet high, and they're going to be dropping out. Free fall about 15 seconds. Then they're going to open up their reserve chute, and then after that they'll be opening up their proper chute. Parachute.
Now, at this point, we look at them very closely indeed. We're looking for those that show the greatest flair. Those that we believe can go on to be free-fall parachute instructors, to go on to train this very special task in airborne delivery. What's happening aboard the aircraft now? Now, ladies and gentlemen, at this point, the door will be open.
Can't say it.
The door will be open, the wind will be rushing in there like mad, and about 4 of them will be climbing out into 100-knot winds, and they'll be walking along a little ledge on the side of the aircraft, edging their way along this little ledge, holding on for dear life because they don't want to fall off, because they've all got to fall off together. And they'll be looking back through the windows at the guys that are still inside the aircraft. Imagine that. So we've got Flight Sergeant Mike Maguire from Nottingham. He's the team coach. Any moment now you'll see a puff of smoke that will be coming away from the aircraft as they pull their smokes and are ready to actually leave into free fall at 120 miles an hour. So keep looking up, ladies and gentlemen. You'll see the little puff of smoke come as they put smoke on. So they're holding on for dear life from the out, and they're left the aircraft into free fall at 120 miles an hour. As they spread out a little bit, the outside trackers will be doing 180 miles an hour. And then the others will come in, they'll be all looking at Mike Maguire, he'll be putting his parachute now, and they'll be checking out their parachute equipment to make sure that everything, they can fly that canopy to the ground. This is where they decide to keep the parachute or to cut it away. They're looking for Mike Maguire. He's with the white smoke. And he's now calling them in, and I'll put you over to Mike. You'll hear him talking to the rest of the team.
The one in the white smoke.
Turning left, 90 degrees, turning left, now. Holding up one turn, now. Turning left, 250 degrees, turning left, now. That's 90.
These canopies are 220 square foot in diameter, and they're made of a ripstop nylon. That means if there's a little hole appeared in the canopy, it wouldn't go any further. But remember, they've got red hot smokes on the bottom of their ankles, and they've got to stay just a small distance apart from one another. If they touch the canopy below with the red hot smoke, they will burn and melt that canopy, and he'll have to cut it away and go on to his reserve. Right at the very top of the stack are the 3 new team members. It's the hardest position at all to be, because the parachutes below you disturb the air and take away the air. So what the team coach now is doing is just making a number of turns, and the top people will turn back in and slot into that famous stack of the Royal Air Force Falcons. Up there, the winds are blowing about 30 knots. Here we go, into a split stack spiral. Ladies, this is a heart in the air for every lady down on the drop zone. And they slot back in again into their places. This is precision parachuting at its very best. So Mike Maguire still talking to the team.
Right, now. That's 90. Rolling out that turn. Now, hey guys, you're going to hand this way. Squeeze it down, nice.
Yes, these are the parachute jump instructors of the #1 parachute training school. Ladies and gentlemen, we in Great Britain are regarded to be the best training establishment for not only display parachuting but airborne delivery. We train people from all over the Commonwealth and from all over the world. Back to Mike.
Rolling out right turn. Now. That's the... Take your care to squeeze it down, guys. You're at 2
They can hear you. So come on, let's give them a wonderful welcome. They really want you to give them some applause. They can feel it, they can hear it up there.
Now, they're going to run this way, fellas, towards the beach.
And for every local person here, at number 2 in the stack, we have Sergeant Gary Nicholson from Consett in County Durham.
Now,
the wind up there at this height is blowing around about 20 knots. It's 5 knots on the ground.
that's 90. Rolling out right turn. Now,
Keep that applause going. Come on, they can hear you.
okay,
They
guys,
really want to hear you.
90 degrees, turning left. Now,
They really love jumping here at Sunderland because it's the people of Sunderland that made this display so wonderful.
turning left, 180 degrees, turning left. Now, that's 90. Rolling out right turn. Now, gonna run this way. Next turn is my downwind leg. Turning right, 90 degrees, turning right. Now, rolling out right turn.
So that's Flight Sergeant Mike Maguire from Nottingham at the bottom of the stack and leading the team into this small drop zone and into the orange, yellow and orange crosses. So ladies and gentlemen, as they land, is Flight Sergeant Mike Maguire from Nottingham, Sergeant Gary Nicholson from Consett in County Durham, Sergeant John Parkhurst from Gainsborough in Lincolnshire, Sergeant Carl Harris from Middlesbrough, Sergeant Dave Warboys from Sheringham in Norfolk, Sergeant Rob Priestley from Middlesbrough, Sergeant Liam Lyons from Worcester, Sergeant Scott Garrett from Auckland in New Zealand, and Sergeant Chris Williams from Glenman in South Wales. So they all landed down here on the beach, just moving around a little, just to see them all landed, yes. And what they're trying doing is picking their parachutes up as quickly as they can, because it's damp, salt water there. They don't wish to contaminate their parachutes. They'll then will run into a lineup.
They'll have a salute by the men.